Hey friends, welcome to the channel. I'm Ken Smith, just an old guy having fun with trains, and today I'm really excited to show you this. This is a BTS Structures Red Eye Saloon because every western town needs a watering hole. So we're gonna tear into this kit, put her together, and show you exactly what we did with it. So let's get started. So we're gonna go ahead and start opening up our Red Eye Saloon kit. We like to thank BTS Structures for supplying us with this kit to assemble and review, as well as Type Bond Glue for supplying us with the necessary glue that we need, and Bob Smith Industries for supplying us with the CCA glue that we need, and last but certainly not least, Excel Hand Tools for supplying us with all of the tools that we're going to need. So we've got our box open now. Remember to retract our blade. And let's take a look inside. Now, I have to be honest with you, I have not been disappointed yet with installing and assembling any of their kits. And you can see all of that on our YouTube page. There's our white metal castings. Excellent laser cut pieces. I really like that these are always identifiable. It's not hard to find exactly what you're looking for in any of their kits. And obviously they're well cut because they come apart very easy, as you can see as I take them out. I'll put this back in here for now just so that we can have a little bit of room working. And you can see everything just kind of sitting out here. Another thing that I really like about all of their kits so far that I've put together, they never skimp on the extra material that you need. For example, the roofing material, more than enough roofing material there. More than enough window shade material there. And obviously more than enough clear styrene for the windows. And that comes with every kit that I've assembled with them. There we are there for our signage that obviously clearly matches the picture right there. We'll take a look at the instructions really fast while I've got this open. And I always like the little bit of intro. If there's any history, they always identify that here in the instructions. And their instructions are very clear. And I do mean very clear. There's never a doubt when I'm putting together one of their kits that they take the time to identify everything in the instruction process. Now you can see I've got things kind of spread out here, but there's your parts list. And again, it's very clearly marked on the components that you see right there. And we'll just kind of lift this up so you can kind of get an idea. If I was looking for A12, which is the foundation beams, it says that I have 7, and you can count them. There's 7 right there. And that's the type of instructions that I really like. It's just well written. Some really good color photos with this one I really like. And again, just kind of gives you an idea of how to paint, how to weather, and where to put all your signage. So let's get into this. The more and more I thought about it, I'm like, you know, I just don't think I really want to paint this building. It's a saloon, and the look that I'm looking for is to kind of give it a kind of a rustic part of town, if you will. And so what I ended up doing was I've got a little bit of some Minwax stain and some really nasty brush cleaner. Mineral spirits that I've got sitting in that container there. And I'll kind of show you what I'm doing. I just kind of brush some of this mineral spirits on so that I've got my wood kind of wet. Take a little bit of stain literally off of the wood and just kind of dap it in place a little bit and just kind of do what you see I'm doing there. Just kind of brush it around, and then I'm taking a paper towel that has a little bit of stain on it as well, that you see right there, and then I'm just kind of rubbing through and this gives me some age spots that I kind of like, and it's really letting the detail of all that laser cut wood just kind of really pop. And that's literally how I did all of this. Now, this almost looks too good to pass up, so I'm probably just going to take, again, just kind of wet it. Maybe do a little bit more stain on there since these are kind of floor rafters, and they'll probably get a little bit grimier, like you see right there. And then just kind of wipe it down. Not sure what sides might be showing or whatnot, so in this particular case I'm just going to go ahead and kind of sprinkle the love a little bit, like you see right there. It's kind of raining in the train shed, and so it's obviously making some noise, and I apologize if you hear it raining in the background, but that's kind of what's happening. Now, the beauty part of doing it like this is, you know, one, there's really no right or wrong way. This is really just another way that you can finish something, and it gives the appearance of a weathered look, and you haven't even weathered it. It's just a little bit of, I literally, let me put this top down a little bit more secure so that when I point it to you, point it at the camera, that's literally what I'm using. Just some semi-transparent English chestnut that has given me just the look that I like. Very rustic looking. I don't imagine that a saloon owner in an old small western town in the mountains would be spending an awful lot of money trying to make his establishment look good, especially if it's the only saloon in town. So that's kind of our plan with it. We're going to go ahead and paint our trim next. Friends, that's the bulk of our kit right there. This is just Rust-Oleum rattle can red primer, and I think that that's going to look very nice next to the kind of dirty brown stain wash that we created. And this doesn't, the trim doesn't look really fancy. It's not a fancy color. I didn't want a fancy color. Again, I'm really looking for that rustic look. So this Rust-Oleum primer, that did the trick for me. And so it literally took me longer to wait for things to dry than it did to actually pop the kit open and paint everything. I've spent more time waiting for it to dry. So now it's time to get it assembled. Well, we have our basic structure already assembled. A couple of things that I want to point out. We did not glue the front porch yet. And I'll show you why we did not do that. You can see that gap. If we go all the way up to the wall, we're not going to have any room for our trim moldings that we need to install next, and so we don't want to do that. So we'll just set that aside for the time being. Also, to point out, again, just a two-piece floor. So you can kind of see that that actually came out there. And we just applied some glue to the base and glued our floor in place. So next up, we're going to start installing the corner bracing and door and window sections. Should be really simple. I mean, if you take a look at this kit, it's just easy peasy. We have the trim now installed all the way around our building. I had a little bit of unsquareness right here, so I actually had to kind of gently sand that down so that looking down on it, it would be nice and flush. So I'll need to touch that up with a little bit of coloring. That should be pretty easy to do. The other thing I wanted to mention is I actually spoke incorrectly and said that the piece here was actually the sidewalk, and that was not the case. The walk was a separate piece, and the piece that was there actually goes right here. And so, again, I spoke incorrectly. I apologize for that, but I just wanted to be very clear moving forward in case I gave you any incorrect information. So we'll finish up with a little bit of trim that is here, and then we'll start with the windows and door glazing, as well as the rest of the windows and door trim. Now, one thing I definitely want to point out is while BTS has done a fantastic job with this kit and putting it out, it's still a laser kit, and so it takes a lot of care, and you want to use a real sharp pointed tool. I like using my Excel, and really I'm about ready to have to change that blade. Starting to get a little dull, but you want to go along these pieces so that when you're cutting them loose, they come loose and they don't necessarily break. That's very easy to do, and I actually did that with the front window trim. It actually broke right there in the corner. That was probably just a big guy who kind of handles things sometimes a little on the rough side. But again, just a very sharp knife or a very sharp blade on your Excel hand knife, and you'll be able to get these apart without causing any damage. And kind of like what you see I'm doing right here. Just a nice clean breakaway. And then use the Excel sanding stick to just kind of sand some of these little burrs off, and you'll be just fine. Next, I went ahead and assembled the doors and windows. The easiest way and the best way of doing it, these all come as peel and stick. And if you just take your the sharp edge of your Excel hobby knife and just kind of gently pick the paper backing off the back side of each piece that you need to attach the clear window glazing, it just presses in place. What I do is I like cutting, try to get this one a little bit closer so maybe you can see it. I like to try to get the window glazing a little bigger than the actual window itself. And the reason being is it just makes it really easy when I glue this in place. Now, some people like using canopy glue, but I actually like using the tight bond, quick and thick glue because it dries super clear, and it is thick, and so you can just literally put a little bit on the tip of a toothpick and apply the glue very sparingly. And so that is what we're actually going to go ahead and do next. We're actually going to install the windows and doors. I have our roof paper cut for the roof line, and the smaller piece of cardboard that goes for the porch, rear porch roof. I just did kind of a brown stain all the way around the edges so that if you're looking underneath the model, or you just get it at a spot where you see just a little bit of roof line, you don't see the cardboard color. Then what I always do, because I think it's just really close to scale, I use my Excel cutting mat, and I just draw lines across all of the paper, and you can kind of see so that the roll paper is the size of those lines. It works out pretty good. So then when I go to glue these on, I just kind of glue them on like that, just overlap them. Make sure you're always facing in the right direction too. That's important. And so we're going to go ahead and get the roof all together now. With our roof glued in place, it's time to kind of fit our chimney. Now, what I like doing, and again, your mileage may vary, I poke a small hole, because this is cardstock. So I poke a small hole in the roof where I'm going to put the chimney. And I do that with my Excel craft knife, my hobby knife. And then what I like doing in my Excel model railroad kit, they have this really wonderful awl, which also is kind of like a file. It's got a nice sharp point. And so what I like doing, let's see if I can do this from the side. I like going in the hole, like here, and then just gently, with a little bit of pressure, just keep turning, and that widens the hole nice and even. I find it a little bit easier. You can see already how much bigger that hole is. I just find that little technique very, very easy. And I just keep working it until I'm at a place where I'm like, okay, that's where I want my chimney. I just need to go in just a little bit more, and I should be okay. All right, we finally got her done, and we're going to kind of give you some up-close and personal views of it. I am really happy with how this kit turned out. A lot of great little detail in there you may not expect from a small kit like this, but it's fantastic detail. That's how we weathered our roof. And here's our other elevation side. Again, some great signs that came with it. And again, just look at the detail. Let's see if we can zoom in there. Just really, really pretty. Get my big thumb out of the way. There we go. Kind of do it like that. And I'm really happy with how this kit came out. Really looks fabulous. This is a fantastic kit. I highly recommend it. Have a wonderful day, and you all be blessed.